Man, you remember when everyone thought historic was better than standard? Oh yeah, of course, man, of course. And they were all like, oh, this is so fun, and standard's so boring, because it's the same old, same old. Yep. And then goblins came in and just messed their whole day up, and now we're laughing in standard. Ha ha ha. Oh yeah, things are much easier now in standard. No gobos, no hard stuff, a whole lot of removal spells, but other than that, it's a great day. What you got there, standard? Don't mind if I come take a little peek and bring all my goblin friends. What's up, everybody? My name's Chance. Today we're diving into Goblins in Standard. That's right, and this isn't just some janky pile where I'm like, hey look, I could play Goblins in Standard. No, this is a very, very real deck, similar to the Gallia Shapeshifter aggro deck, where I was like, hey, I know this is a cool idea, but it's also a really strong, powerful synergy as well. Well, Goblins in Standard, ladies and gentlemen, you better be prepared because this is no laughing matter. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to play Conspicuous Snoop, a 2-mana 2/2, with the ability of play the top card of your library revealed. Fine, that's whatever, most of the time we're playing control people and they're going to be looking in our hands anyways. You may cast goblin spells from the top of your library as long as the top card of your library is a goblin card. Conspicuous Snoop has all activated abilities of that card, which means, it can copy things like Dragonkin Berserker, where it creates red dragons and blah blah blah. Now you're saying, Chance, I only see one other goblin in your deck, and that's a Fireblade Charger, and you only have 2 copies of it. Well, the main point here is to not play Conspicuous Snoop and then actual goblins. The main point here is to play Conspicuous Snoop, and then on turn 4, turn 5, whatever, somewhere in that range, you're going to drop Maskwood Nexus, which is going to turn all of your creatures into goblins, which, as I'm sure you may have guessed by now, allows Conspicuous Snoop to play every creature in your deck off the top of your library, which is a really, really strong effect. We've seen this effect before with things like Bolas' Citadel, where you could just continuously rip things off the top, and we've seen Vivian, right, who had that ability. But this is Snoop, which is 2 mana, and this is Maskwood, which is 4 mana. So the mana input here, not really that huge. Furthermore, benefits you gain, you get the ability to have Snoop copy the ability of Arnie Broken Bow, which means it can copy the strongest power you have, which could be a Kazandu off of the back of a Fabled, right? Really big, really strong card. You can have it copy the ability of Dragonkin Berserker, which again, if you have down Maskwood Nexus, and it reads, boast abilities you activate cost 1 less to activate for each dragon you control. Of course, you'll need this on the battlefield in order to reduce the cost down from 5, but even if you don't reduce the cost and you just have this sitting on the top of your library, and you're thinking, is it smarter to swing in with Conspicuous Snoop and pay the 5 to gain a dragon, or maybe draw out Dragonkin? I don't know, but you can swing in with Snoop, play the dragon, then play Dragonkin off the top if you have enough mana. Anyways, a couple other synergies we need to talk about with this deck. We do have a 1-off Ooze. I might up this to 2 because it's a really good synergy with the Conspicuous Snoop. 1, Ooze in and of itself, really good card. Pay 1 mana, exile target card from a graveyard, and potentially gain life and a +1/+1 counter. Now, throw this on the top of your deck with a Snoop down and a Maskwood, and now your Snoop becomes an Ooze, right? Pay that 1 green mana, exile stuff, Snoop gets bigger, and well, now you have sort of like multiple copies of Oozes in the deck without having to fill your deck up with multiple copies of Oozes. Another really cool synergy is Gallia with the Maskwood. So Gallia reads, other satyrs you control get +1/+1 and have haste. Well, Maskwood is going to turn everything not only into goblins, but also into satyrs, which means all your creatures are going to get +1/+1 and come down with haste, which is really, really good when you talk about things like Bjergi and Kazandu and Bolthound. Oh, Bolthound already has haste. Or Dragonkin. So, the idea is Gallia is going to boost them all up. Furthermore, whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may discard a card at random, and it is at random. You don't get to pick this. Furthermore, if you do, draw 2 cards, which of course is going to help you get to that Snoop and Maskwood combo. Now, a couple other things we do need to note. A lot of the creatures in this deck have haste, and that's because, well, you can play them off the top of your deck, and then they can come in immediately swinging. So you have Arnie with haste, Bolthound with haste, Snoop with haste, Snoop doesn't have haste, Brushfire with haste, Gallia with haste, and Fervent Champion with haste, which brings me to my next point. Fervent Champion, whenever it attacks another target attacking knight you control, gets +1/+0. Now, while this is a small ability or small chunk of a little synergy, it's still really nice and certainly nothing to be sneezed at. When you get down to Maskwood, everything is going to turn into a knight, which means Fervent Champion can boost up anything, including your Fireblade Charger, which means this Charger can now deal 2 damage, or whenever it dies, it's going to deal 2 damage in that manner, which is, of course, all really, really good. Now, we do have Fireblade Chargers, so if we happen to hit the Snoop and we don't have down Maskwood, we can still hit a creature off the top of our library, but not really the one that we're looking for. Mostly, this is in the deck to help us have more 1-drops available, right? It helps with Gallia, that kind of stuff. Anyway, Shatter Skull for some removal. Birgi, because if you think about this, we could theoretically, I'm not going to say have infinite creatures off the top of our deck, but we can pull a crap ton if we have Birgi, Conspicuous Snoop, and Maskwood down, because every time we go to play a creature, we're going to gain 1 mana, and of course we can see the top card of our library, which means we have a better chance of finding more cards to play, and so it sort of just cycles back into itself. Bolthound going to come down and boost up all of our other stuff, and of course if you already have the Gallia down, your creatures are getting +2/+1, which is, well, a lot of stats considering you should be churning out more and more and more and more creatures, right? Kazandu going to help you, really help you with the Great Hinge and the Embercleave. You can still get to the Great Hinge just off the back of, Arnie getting boosted up a little bit off the Gallia, or Brushfire getting boosted up off the Fabled. But Kazandu really going to help you get down the Great Hinge. And of course, if you can get an Embercleave down at any point during any of this, because you have tons of creatures and tons of card draw and tons of damage, well, fantastic. Finish that game, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, last but not least, we have Maskwood Nexus. Creatures you control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. I know that the heavy part of this combo is playing down Maskwood Nexus. I don't recommend 4 copies. You don't ever want to see 2 copies of this card in your hand, because it's an ability that doesn't stack. I mean, it does, but it doesn't do anything when it does stack, right? Like, double turning your creatures into everything doesn't do anything more than turning them once. So, Maskwood, good. Leave it at 3. Maybe even drop it to 2 if you're not too concerned with the Snoop combo. But, the whole idea of the deck is the Snoop combo. So, if you're going to do that, maybe just go play a different deck. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it for the Goblins in Standard. Hope you've enjoyed this deck tech breakdown. Can't wait to see you in the matches. By the way, be sure to watch all the way through to the end, and of course hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the content and you want to see more of this one-of-a-kind deck bro in action on this one-of-a-kind channel. Anyways, without further ado, we're gonna dive right into some Gobos in Standard. Alrighty, Amaratu or Amarutu, either way, we're gonna keep this first hand, as it is a rather good one. We got the Birgi, we got the Fervent, and the Gallia. Good Gallia. So we might be able to get 3 creatures down and attacking, which would be nice. We got the Kazandu and a Fabled, but we're going to need to use the Fabled to get to the Kazandu as of right now. So, we'll see. We shall see. Alright, foe deciding if they want to keep or not. We're going to drop a Fervent. Get in for that sweet, blissful 1 damage. I do apologize a little bit for the lag. Y'all know, first game of the day for Magic is usually a little bit laggy. I don't know what it is about it, but whenever I first open the program, it needs like a little yoga stretch time period. Alright, well, that's our 3rd land, which means we can get Birgi down pretty assuredly, right? I still would like to get the Kazandu down if we just happen to draw the land, but if not, I won't be upset. Speaker of the Heavens for the foe. And there's our Conspicuous Snoop. Our Conspicuous Snoop. So I could go for Birgi this turn, or I go for Snoop, look at the top card of our library, but we don't have the Maskwood down yet. I suppose we could always draw into it on the next turn, but that's still kind of a tall ass. So instead, we're just going to drop Birgi. Birgi. I think we swing all in. They look like they got something up their sleeve, though, yeah? Like 1 mana, not playing anything, not doing anything. They gotta have something up their sleeve, right? Well, let's attack. Let's figure out what's up the sleeve. Let's roll that bad boy back. Let's figure out the heavens and let's see, what are they gonna do here? Give it a +1/+1 counter or fight as one? Okay. I see. That's fine. Got them to waste it now, so they won't have it for later. That was the plan all along, you fool. Alright, I'm Amoratu. I don't know why I can't say your name without thinking of Nosferatu. So it's mono white life gain that we're up against, and we're just gonna draw lands all day, baby. Lands and lands and lands and lands. I want to get the Snoop down, but we don't have the Maskwood yet, so it's not going to be turned online too much. I feel like we can afford to wait till next turn. So instead, we're going to drop Kazandu this turn. Actually, we can drop both of them. Hey! Chance using his old noggin. Ye old noggin. You know, because the 1 mana from Bjergi lets me cast this guy, or Goblin. I don't know what gender Snoop is, and it's not really in my place to question. So there's the Maskwood off the top. No way, Pog. Let's go. Now we just need Snoop, obviously, to live through the next turn. But that is exactly what we wanted. I probably shouldn't be swinging it with my Bjergi, if I'm being completely honest. But, you know, life goes. Oh, that's a little bit of a rough one. Alrighty. Well, it's one of these days I'll pass to the end of my turn. It's unfortunate, but we had to try and get in damage some way, shape, form, or fashion. So I'm really hoping they don't have removal for the Snoop, but yeah. Oh, okay. They're not even gonna take the removal for the Snoop. Well, hey, I'll gladly take that all day. Hey. Alright. Also, let's not forget Fervent buffs up our other knights because we have Maskwood down. Snoop is now a knight. A lot of interactions with this deck where we're boosting. We're getting boosted. I wish we still had the Bjergi down, because then when I went to cast this Bolt Hound, we would still have 3 mana left over, which means we could also cast the Arnie. We can't, but let's see. Would I rather have you or you? I mean, you do pull another card off the top, so let's go for you, right? Let us go for you. Next one is a land. Can't really use that one right now, so we'll swing all in. Another target knight. Let's go Snoop. Let's go Snoop. Alright, they're down to 5. We also have a Bolt Hound that comes down next turn. Maybe we'll find another creature off the top there, because we should be able to cast 2 creatures theoretically, right? Oustlud! Really good card. Able to give them protection and be a little chum blockarooski. It's a land. Well, you hate to see that. Absolutely hate to see it. And they already know what this card is. Now I could go ahead and create a 2/2 shapeshifter. If I swing all in here, Arnie and Snoop are big enough to get on through. I think I got to swing. Swing low, sweet chariot. Right, because we put a +1/+1 or +1/0 from the Fervent and then +1/0 from Bolt Hound. So yeah, they're both at 4 power now, which means they can take out that Angel. So it's down to this, opponent. What do you do? Now, they do still have 3 mana available, so they could potentially buff something. Luckily, they don't have a human down, though, so another fight is won while it would still work and would still be good, it wouldn't be, you know, end all be all. So Arnie getting blocked by the 1/1 and then the 4/4 going to the Snoop. We still have 4 damage outside of this. Of course, they're going to heal 1, so it will put them... Let's see, we'll end up dealing 3, put them down to 2 life. Arnie lives, Snoop goes away, unfortunately. But then we also use Maskwood to create a 2/2, which I didn't want to show them because, you know, I want to keep things a surprise. Keep things a surprise. All right, so sack the Owl Slid. Angel lives. Forget about that one. We'll resolve this. They go down to 2. Actually, they go down to 1, right? Because they don't gain the life. Yeah. Ooh. I don't know if that was the play. We're going to wait till their turn because, of course, you can use Maskwood on your turn or your opponent's turn. And if they have board wipe, I doubt it. But if they do, then we can let them spend all their mana board wipe, and then we'll create our 2/2 and win the game. Really do like that Snoop there, though. That was very, very useful. Being able to pull cards off the top. And there it goes, Amaratu. They're saying GG. Or actually, they didn't say it. They just scooped. But we know what they meant. Gouda. Like Gouda the cheese, but it's a T. Gouda. I hope you're having a Gouda time. I'm sorry, everybody. We got to take a mulligan here. There's only 1 land. Well, this is still not a whole lot of land. I guess we'll keep. Put back one of these Shatter Skulls. I realistically should put back the Great Hinge. I know. Oh boy. All right. Well, Dragonkin Berserker, don't you let me down now. You're really a card that gets the benefit off of the Maskwood and Snoop and all that. But you know, we'll make things work. We'll flush it all out. And I'm not talking about my colon. Horrible joke. Probably. We won't be making any more like that. You could even go so far as to say that that was a crappy joke. Oh, I'm so funny. Anyways, so we're gonna try and swing in with our original, our OG Dragonkin Berserker, if you will. Then go ahead and play down the second. We'll get down Ooze on the next turn, as obviously this Fabled isn't going to enter untapped. Jawari Disruption. Sure. I'm always surprised whenever people counter two mana creature spells. That's not Priest, right? Or Robber. I can understand countering Priest and Robber, because those two are like, I hate this. Of course, you don't really see Priest anymore. Some people that are newer to Standard are probably like, what the heck is Priest? It's Priest of the Forgotten Gods. It was a really old, really annoying card. Well, not really old. Just older. Just older. An older card. Don't counter my stuff. Don't have another just Jawari Disruption. Alright, I'll attack. I'm a little afraid to play the Ooze because it feels like they do have another disruption, and I don't want them to disrupt the Ooze, but at the same time I need to have the 3 creatures down so that way Gallia can proc. So we're gonna try for it, because you know, what do we got to lose except for an Ooze, baby? Let's go. It does enter the battlefield, which means on our next turn Gallia could potentially allow us to discard our Shatter Skull and then draw 2 more cards, which hopefully would be better cards, right? Maybe a Maskwood, maybe a Snoop, maybe a Maskwood and a Snoop. Binding the Old God's gonna take out Gallia before she ever even gets started. It's a sad day. It's a sad, sad day. Yep. And to top it all off, we're gonna hit nothing but lands. That's fine. I really enjoy whenever I hit nothing but lands for the first half of the game. That makes me feel like I'm doing something right. I guess we could have also boasted for you, right? Because it only costs 5. Whoops. Oh well. Oh, to the well. We'll hope Dragonkin can live, because I made a little bit of a mistake by activating our Ooze instead of our Dragonkin there, because of course if 5/5 dragon is a little bit better than an ooze. But it wouldn't have mattered. Actually wouldn't have mattered, so happy that I did what I did. Shadow's Verdict from the foe, and we'll just drop a Fireblade and call it good. Call it Gouda. Well, Elspeth's Nightmare, couldn't get by without that. You know, if Sultai didn't have 30,000 copies of removal early in the game, what kind of Sultai deck would you be playing anyways? You know? Hey, there's a Maskwood. Not saying it's gonna stick or land or do anything, but it's there. It's here. I do declare. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this because it can only deal 3 damage, and well, Sultai has Yorion. I don't think they necessarily give a crap about 3 damage, right? Also, if I'd have kept that in my hand, they would have taken it with the Elspeth's Nightmare. All right, well, this is the point where we say GG. You got it on your daily win. Sumintan, or Sumintan? I don't know. We're going to keep this. I know that we have 2 Bjergi, but let's not forget we could always play one down as the Harnfeifel. We can always play one down as the Horn. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get the mountain down first. You know how I feel about, you know, you try to get the basics of the basics out of the way. A little loosey-goosey from the foe. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the world's largest fan of the loosey-goosey, but that's fine because we can swing right on past it. Now, the Fabled Passage on the next turn means we probably won't get that Bjergi down untapped on the next turn. Unless we just hit a land, which is it's possible. Are we seeing another Sultai Andy? Is it mono green? Are you playing mono green with the Cultivate? It's not something you often see, but you know, I don't want to take anything away from the opponent either. You know, don't let me tell you what to do. Anyways, next turn we're gonna have the 4 mana for the Maskwood. However, our Brushfire is gonna go up to, well, bing. Our Brushfire is gonna go up to 5 power off the back of the Fabled Passage, which means we can get down the Great Hinge and go for things like that, right? Alright, let's go Great Hinge. Let's go Great Hinge. And this will allow me to play the Gallia off the back of the Bjergi. You never thought Great Hinge would be so valuable, did you? Now give me another Gallia or something playable. Another Gallia is not what I should have asked for in that moment, but that's alright. So we can swing it with Brushfires. It can take out and trade out with the Questing Beast. And of course, if we can trade, then we shall. No, they're just going to take the damage on the chin. We'll pass to the end of turn. And, well, we do have our 3 creatures lined up for Gallia to activate her ability. We also have Maskwood. So as soon as we find that Snoop, it's coming down. Vivian, Monster's Advocate. Probably going to give him a 3/3 here. Yep. Vigilance. Tramp. Reach. What do it be? It's Vigilance. Alright. They're going to swing in with the Questing Beast. We're going to take that damage again. No biggie, no biggie. Hey, it's a Snoop. And we have our Maskwood. How poggerific is this? Alright, so, Snoop. Oh, a Snoop into a Snoop. A Snoop into a Snoop. What are the chances? Do I even need to play Maskwood now? I mean, I should, but at the same time, we get a Snoop into a Snoop. You don't really need to. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Alright, so this should still allow us to cast that Dragonkin off the top. Yes. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm freaking talking about, man. You get down everything. Oh, you get to attack too? That's right, because you're a satyr and Gallia makes all satyrs have haste. Let's go. Alright, so Goblins in Standard, it's very real, it's very strong, and it's very fun.